Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to TWE Charts. AMC up pretty much 10% today, man. We ended off at 7.5, but everything is still tracking, bro. Everything's still tracking, all right? If you haven't seen the AMC 2020 versus AMC 2024 video, I suggest you do that. This is just a very brief uh, update on that. But this has to do with the video, obviously. But I want to talk about the correlation we had before, right? So the tracking on that, this is a little tracking update, tells us that the correlation still holds, and we're trading somewhere in between, or a version in between, November of 2020 and December of 2020, right? So the correlation is there. I mean, the pattern structure of the overall markets has good correlation, and we're going to go with that because now we can see that the November 2020 pattern, which is this kind of cup looking thing, right, that fails and then it starts climbing down, is something AMC is doing now. Now, I personally don't think it's going to come down after that. I don't think the entire fractal is going to track, but I do think we're tracking a version of that fractal. And that's what this video is going to cover. I'm going to talk about that. So again, going back to November 2020, I already laid everything out here for you guys to make it easier. We can crack this thing down, right? Try and figure out what it is and how this goes with the whole pattern tracking that we have on AMC right now. The last video talks about that. We're in a reaccumulation pattern that we call the projector, and it's typically what happens before every major run-up occurs. So this is just kind of backing that up a little bit with AMC's historical data, which is even better in my opinion. Okay, so I split this pattern up here, this failed projector is what we call it, and I split it up into little sections so you guys can see what it looks on AMC's chart, because a lot of these patterns, what ends up happening is these algorithms end up either slowing or speeding the process up. And this is kind of a good way to see that. So starting November 9th, we had a catalyst. This right here is the original pattern of November of 2020. So it was very fast. It happened pretty quickly in about a week. For AMC, we have only one section that seems to match in terms of time, and that is this pink section here. You can see it pretty much follows it the same way. The only other two that are pretty extended are happening right here. And I think the reason for that, guys, all has to do with how much the price action goes up. This is where we kind of, we understand how theta works in the option market, which is a tool these hedge funds use, right, to hedge their positions, their over leveraged positions. The option chain is huge. So it kind of makes sense, right? The price pumps 400%. November 2020, it only pumped 100%. Price comes down, and then it comes back up to reach those highs. Okay, so we can kind of start crossing things off, because in this green section, it's pretty clear to me that this flag setup here, right, is very similar to AMC, right? AMC's is just a lot bigger. Come back, take this entire pattern, and you have yourself a little match right there as well, right? And the crazy thing about this is that a lot of these levels are also very accurate. You can see that the green portion is accurate. The pink portion is accurate as well. And even the blue section here, which is just very small, so there is a lot more error happening here, which is fine. But then come and look at this yellow section. Look at the accuracy in this yellow section, right? We have a reaccumulation pattern. This is a classic projector before everything starts to climb. So this just backs up everything else we've been talking about, right? We talk about this reaccumulation pattern that we're tracking here, and I have it going up in the next few days because of all these fractals we're tracking in the market that have already done this. And then now, with this market correlation here, which is even greater, using this to narrow down a section in the cycle and using that as reference as well. I mean, it's even it just adds on to this whole thing, right? The evidence is greater here. Now the probability goes up. So yeah, guys, this is pretty amazing stuff. I mean, it kind of shows you the fractal here and what's happening inside the fractal. And these two sections, I think, are the only ones that are playing out pretty much identical in time. It's going to be the yellow and the pink section here. 2 different times, but those 2 are the ones that are pretty much playing out the same. The other 2 are slowed down. So this is great stuff. I think here going into Friday, all right, following today's shareholder meeting, all right, we kind of have a nice little pump, and now we're expecting maybe a day or 2 of sideways trading, and then starting to pump either on Monday or on Friday here. One more thing with this whole tracking, right? We go back and we track GME as well. The reason I'm tracking GME for this one is, well, right now the 2 are pretty much tracking the same way. I know GME has had a greater push to the upside, a lot more return happening on GME. Eventually, that will happen with AMC, in my opinion, but tracking GME is crucial. And one of the patterns that we've been tracking for GME here, which I found on the AMC cycle, for not AMC's chart, but AMC cycle reference patterns, is this one here. And just look at the accuracy on this one. Same thing, guys. We have a different version of this reaccumulation pattern, but look at how it looks on GMEs. This one is basically going for upside like now, right? And a lot of these sections, yes, do slow down, and that's fine. But right now, what we're trying to check off are these levels. These levels are going to be the most important part. We have all the levels hitting, right? Reaccumulation pattern getting ready to bust and keep going. So yeah, guys, going into Friday, I think this is going to be crucial for GME and AMC to do their thing, right? Because these POIs, that's what we call them, points of interest, are very important here. If things flip, we get the opposite effect, basically, right? Now, the only thing on our side right now is the fact that, well, these patterns are tracking to a T, right? They're tracking to a T, and that's as best as it gets, man. Okay, so guess what, man? Another short little video for today, because pretty much we're just updating, man. We're just updating as the price action develops here. So make sure you guys are liking the video, make sure you're subscribing, and make sure you guys are supporting the channel. You can click the link below and experience some of the other benefits, right, of the Discord and the cycle indicators as well. So click that link below. It'll take you there, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. All right, bye-bye.